In other words, you should present your results before beginning to discuss them. This is important because the reader must be left to read the results undisturbed before you try to tell them what the results mean. The most common mistake that people make when writing up research is to mix discussion into the results section. A quick tip: avoid expressions like interestingly. If the results are interesting, the reader will judge for themselves. Many papers divided the results into 3 sections. First is who or what they studied. Here, the reader can judge whether the research is relevant and see what bias, if any, could have arisen from the selection of the participants. And 2, what they found. Here, the reader can see the data that resulted from the research using descriptive statistics and graphs. And 3, the relationship between whom or what was studied and what happened. And here, the reader can see if different groups of participants have different outcomes. There are many variations for this sequence. But as a rule, the participants are described first, then the main outcome comes next, and then more complex analysis looking at specific subgroups comes last. The results are usually presented as text with accompanying tables or graphs. The text should summarize the results, leaving the tables to show in precise details and using graphs to show key patterns in the data visually. So, what makes a good results section? 3 things: clarity and flow, relationship between results and research question, and completeness. First, the clarity and flow. When you write your results section, you should aim for a clear presentation of the data that trends in them, written in a logical order that builds up a picture of the findings step by step. Think carefully about whether to present results as text or tables or graphs, and each one has a role. Graphs are good for showing patterns and relationships. Tables are resources where you can put details together, but people don't or can't read them completely. Text is the narrative thread, taking the reader through the results that are represented in the graphs and tables. Some results, indeed, are so simple that they can be presented only in text. Completeness. You also need to check whether there are any unexplained gaps or inconsistencies in the results. This is where many modern research papers present a flow chart to show the data gathering process, allowing the reader to appreciate how and where data was lost to the study. One such flow chart is the consort diagram, used for reporting the flow of patients through the clinical trials, as it shows here. The relationship between research question and result. The result should be presented and analyzed in such a way as to answer the research question. Indeed, there should be a clear linkage between the title, which announces the research question, the methods, which translate the research question into a research project, and the results section, which summarize and analyze the findings. Another quick tip: avoid abbreviations. Abbreviations can make papers very hard to read. In general, use only abbreviations that would be used in everyday speech. For example, people do say IQ. Some abbreviations are so common in particular subject area that they can be safely used, like CHD for coronary heart disease. But avoid inventing abbreviations that are specific to your papers. It can make your writing, especially in the results section, very hard to follow. Coming into the discussion. In this section, the research findings are discussed in the context of what's already known about the topic. This section is usually divided into 3 parts: a summary of existing knowledge, integration of new knowledge, and implication of the new knowledge. The summary of the existing knowledge. The discussion began with a restatement of the research question. Your aim is to show how the new research findings relate to the previous research. In biomedical papers, the literature review is done here. In social and behavioral science papers, the literature review tends to be done in the introduction. Integration of new knowledge. Having presented the findings in the results section, you can now discuss what they mean. You should set the findings in the context of other published findings, discussing how they differ from or compare to what is already known or in the published papers. Where and how do they extend our knowledge? Next is the implications of the new knowledge. You should make clear the implications of the new findings for the practice. Do the findings suggest that we should be doing things differently, or that we need to rethink our priorities, or that future research needs to be conducted differently? Many research studies raise more questions than they answer, and the discussion section should outline what new research could be carried out in light of these findings. Don't forget that a study can be important not only because of the findings, but also because of the methods used. You should, of course, acknowledge any weakness in your research that place limitations on its interruptions, but also draw attention to the features that make the findings a significant contribution to the area. In what way is your study better than the previous studies? If a person reads the whole paper, they should be aware of the strength and limitations of the research. However, for people skimming it, and this is meant for most of the readers, the author should summarize the key features of the study that contribute to the reliability and validity of the findings. Reliable features are ones that reduce random errors, like large sample size or carefully controlled measurements. And validity features are ones that reduce biases, representatives of sample, completeness of data, ability to adjust for background variables that might have biased the conclusion. And moving to the conclusion part. The conclusions are the conclusions that you draw from the results. This sounds obvious, but make sure that the conclusions are conclusions, not a restatement of the results. And next, the conclusions are directly drawn from the results you presented, and that they directly refer to the research aim. Next section is the references, And here, Dr. Ali will take you through the reference section.
Thank you, Dr. Manal, for this comprehensive talk. Now we are going to have 5-minute break before we start with the reference section.
Thank you, Dr. Manal, for your comprehensive, incredible talk. So we will have a 5-minute break. Then we will consume again with Dr. Ali and Dr. Manal after knowing how to read academic, writing a paper in an academic way. We need to know how to reference our information using EndNote program. So have a nice break and see you again after 5 minutes. Thank you. Thank you all.
Okay.
So we'll come back, everyone. Let's deep dive with Dr. Manal and Dr. Ali to know how to use EndNote as a reference management.
Thank you, Dr. Dunya. So welcome back. So now we are going to end with the reference section. I believe that with the modern citation manager software, there is no excuse for having references in the wrong style or having them totally wrong. So what is a citation? A citation is a reference to any item, whether it is a book or journal article, or identifies the source in which the full text of the item is to be found. Citation provides sufficient information to acknowledge the author and locate them. Types of citation. The information in a citation is fairly standard. It contains the author name, the article title, publication information like the title of the journal or the title of the book, the volume of the journal and the issue and the pages of the article. And in case of online resources, the URL. The order of these may differ depending on the item being cited and the style you are using. So the next question, why should we cite? Citation is an essential part of literature. It recognizes the intellectual links throughout the literature. Citation can be helpful not only when writing research, but also when conducting a research. It acknowledges the amount of research done by a researcher, and it helps person to locate the information easily. By citation, you can provide the reader with the information he or she needs to verify your source or find more information about the subject. Also, citation shows the reader that you have done a proper research by listing sources you use to get the information. And finally, citation allow you to avoid plagiarism by quoting words and ideas used by other authors. So what is a citation manager? Citation managers are personal citation databases and bibliography creators. They allow you to import, store, organize, and share your research citations and automatically format your bibliography in whatever style you want, whether it is ABA format, Vancouver, Chicago, and many more. Also, most of citation managers allow you to annotate sources, attach PDFs and other files, and you can share the content with your colleagues. Why to use citation managers? Well, managing citations for research work or writing paper is one of the most complicated processes for researchers. The boredom of arranging citations focused around a variety of styles made citation managers an essential tool for researchers at all levels. So we use citation managers to get organized and to prevent transcription or typographic errors and to ease citing and creating bibliographies. What are the functions of citation managers? Citation managers gather references automatically from article databases, and they format manuscripts and citations instantly in a variety of styles according to the journal instructions. Citation managers generate bibliographies and allow you to create and organize a personal research database of references. And you can share citations with colleagues and transfer references among various applications like Microsoft Office Word. The question is, which one should I use? There are many different citation managers available. Well, some of them are free and some of them are paid. But basically, these citation managers provide the same basic functions. They will allow you to save citations, organize them into folders or libraries, generate bibliographies and citations as you write. Which one you should choose depends on your preferences and work style. Now I will spend a few minutes to show a demonstration of the Zotero Citation Manager. I use Zotero for demonstration because Zotero is freely available, unlike EndNote, which requires subscription. This is the layout of the demonstration. We will go for 4 stages. The first stage, I'll show you how to install Zotero. And the second stage, and how to find your way around Zotero. And third stage, how to add items to your Zotero library. And finally, how to insert citations in Word. Okay, so to get started, we need to download the Zotero software. This will be downloaded to your computer hard drive where it can be accessed offline. You should go to this website, www.zotero.org, and click the big red button that says Download Now. And then you click on Download, but make sure to choose the specific version for your operating system. In my case, now I'm downloading Microsoft Office Zotero. Then you click on Save File. After that, you have this window where you can specify the location and the file name. Then you run it. Now this window will appear. You should complete the steps in the setup file. You should choose standard installation and then click next. And finally, you click finish after installation. So we'll have this Zotero. And the second stage of the demonstration is finding your way around Zotero. This is the window of Zotero software. If you have ever used a program like iTunes, then you can use Zotero very easy. You have this library content. This panel shows the items in your library and what is in each collection. For example, now I am having one item found in the collection named Ali. You can add new references from the new button shown here. And this is the collections area. This is where you organize your library collections. Here you can add collection or sub-collection, rename the collection, and so on. If you click on this button, you can add or remove columns to better organize your libraries. And finally, this is the detail panel. This panel shows detailed information about an individual item in your collection, like the article title, the journal title, and the authors, and so on. So in the third stage, adding items to your Zotero library. Well, when you are doing academic research, you will probably encounter a lot of journal articles. To keep track of which articles you have looked at and where, it is a good idea to save them. That way, you can easily find them in the future when you want to cite them in your paper. With one click, Zotero lets you easily save journal articles from your browser to your library. This will help you to stay organized, keep track of your references and citations, and can prevent you from losing or misplacing an article. So this is the PubMed website. You can write whatever topic you want to study and then click on the search button. Then you go to the article you want to cite and you click on the send button shown above. You will have this menu and you should click on Citation Manager and create file, and you save it. Once you open the file, you will get you will have it at this. Once you open the file, you have now added the journal article to Zotero. From here, you can add notes or move the article to different collections, export the article to Word for your bibliography, and more. Also, Zotero has further tools to help you organize and add the items to your library. For example, if you have an article saved in your library and you would like to leave yourself or colleague a note regarding this resource, you can create a note and attach it to them. You can also attach the PDF to items in your library, so they are easily and located in a single place. Finally, when you have started writing your paper and you are ready to add a citation, in the Microsoft Office, you click on the Zotero tab, then click Add Edit Citation. Make sure you have placed your cursor where in the sentence you want to insert the citation. Then click Add Edit Citation. Once you have selected Add Edit Citation, then a window will pop up asking you which citation style you are using. In this example, Vancouver is the preferred style. Select the style you need, then click OK. Now, after you have chosen the style, a small red field will pop up in your Microsoft Office. You can type a few letters of the article title that is saved in your library, and you will see them in the Zotero window. Once you have clicked the title, the name of the authors followed by the date will appear in the red Zotero field. Hit Enter on your keyboard, and you press Enter again. Now you should see the citation in your text. Then, once you have inserted one citation, you can create bibliography or a works cited list. To create a list based on the citations you have inserted, you click on Add Edit Bibliography in the Zotero tab. When you click on this, you will see a list automatically populate at the bottom of your document, like this. So this is the end of the demonstration, and some final tips before we end. There are many websites available to help you in choosing the suitable journal for your research. The website shown here is an example. And this is the final tip. It is important to follow the journal's instructions for the authors correctly. Failure to do so can mean that your paper is unpublishable, for example, unsuitable or too long, or it is in the wrong format. Well, thank you for your attention. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to contact us on these emails. Okay.
Did you finish, Dr. Ali?
Yes.
From both lectures, right?
Yes. Is there any question?
Okay. So thank you, Dr. Manal and Dr. Ali, for this amazing lecture. I will leave now for questions. So for anyone have question, please type it in Q&A. I think there is one question in Q&A, but it is not really related to this lecture, but if you can answer it, please go ahead.
Is there any tool website used for published manuscripts to verify if a manuscript was cited by others? Or for example, it shows the number of citations done. Yes, you can search for the manuscript in the Google Scholar and you can get the citation information there, or even PubMed. I might show you an example. Just a second. Do you see my window?
No.
Can you see the window?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So you go to Google Scholar and type anything. So look down. Cited by 1,257. This is the number of citations. You can see it from Google Scholar or even PubMed. So, any other questions?
Yes, there's another one. Can you please explain again what exactly should be right in conclusion section?
Okay. Conclusion sections. So the conclusion should contain only a conclusion. It should not include a restatement of the results. And it should be directly drawn from the results you presented. And it should match the research aim.
Thank you again. It looks like that we have covered all questions. So please, Dr. Ali or Dr. Manal, is there anything else you want to cover before wrap up?
No, thank you, Dr. Daniel.
Okay, thank you all. Thank you for Dr. Ali and Dr. Manal for your effort in presenting an amazing and outstanding lectures actually, and for answering and attendees' question. I would like to thank again Dr. Muhammad Abdurrab Nabi, Dr. Muhammad Al-Tanir, and Dr. Ali and Dr. Manal for their excellent lectures. Plan what we need to do next in the coming days. We reach the end of the day. We hope you benefited from the delivered lectures by outstanding speakers. Thank you for your well-to participation. I sincerely hope you have enjoyed today's lecture and see you tomorrow. And we wish you all the best in the research. Just I would like to remind you regarding recording lectures. After we finishing the course, so after Thursday, we will send you a link. So through that link, you can access a recorded course, full course. That link will keep to be open for 30 days, for 1 month. After that, it will close. So you can return back to some of the lectures or all lectures as many times as you need. And also I'd like to remind you that I will be accessible during the whole month to answer all your questions or your comments, because I know that some of you couldn't access this lectures in live. Either I will direct your questions to the speakers, or if I can answer them, I will. Also, at the beginning of today's lesson, we sent you a link to accept if you want to be part of WhatsApp group. So we created a WhatsApp group for all attendees, but only for those who accept to be part of it, he will be in that WhatsApp. That's what happened not for an interaction talk, to not lose an important questions and answers and comment. So you can send to me in a private chat in WhatsApp your comment or your questions. Then I will transfer it to the group, the questions plus an answer for that question. Regarding tomorrow session, we will cover it with all what is related to ethics in conducting a research. We will have full day for lectures related to ethics. 2 lectures will be GCP, which is Good Clinical Practice, will be presented by Dr. At-Tanir. That's 2 lectures. If you will attend like 70% of it, you will deserve to have a certificate for GCP, so you will be eligible to conduct any research that mandate accessing the participants' information or patients' information. So we will contact you later regarding that issue. So we will see who is interested to get that certificate. So please be sure to attend at least 70% of that lectures, so you can deserve that certificate. So thank you all for your interest and attending. And please, if you have any query, don't hesitate to send it to me or in Q&A box. And see you tomorrow.